Very cool. So, Sonny Andrews, how you doing, my friend?
I am great, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm phenomenal. So, is Sonny your real name, or is that a second name, or is it a nickname?
It is
Sonny.
a name that I have gone by my whole life. My name in Greek is Xenia, and
Anya.
no one Xenia, but no
Hmm.
one really can pronounce that, so I went by Sunny.
Oh, okay. And where is the name from?
It's my grandma's name, my Yaya in Greek, so it's my mom's name.
Your mom's mom. So, you are Greek and American, right?
So I was actually born in Canada
Hmm.
and then moved to Michigan. So I had dual citizenship because my mom was an American citizen.
Hmm.
But then both of my parents, well, my dad is from Athens and my mom is from the island Cyprus, which is a Greek island.
Right.
Mm,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
yeah.
I read in your bio that you got like lots of chefs in the family or something. Is that right? Who's the
Yeah,
chefs?
definitely.
Who's the chefs?
My my mom's family opened restaurants when they moved here from Cyprus. So like my mom and my grandpa and my mom's mom, they're all very, very, very good Greek cooks. They made their way in this country from cooking. So
Oh, amazing.
very dear to
Amazing.
their hearts. Yeah. I learned a lot from them.
So you like cooking yourself, yeah?
Yeah, I love cooking.
That's awesome.
But it's always been part of my life. That's My mom was always making fresh stuff every single day, so it was
Mm.
hard to not pick it up.
So, Sonny, what one thing that attracted me to your Instagram profile was I'm just going to cut straight to it. You got a phenomenal physique. You have an
Thank
out
you.
of the world, incredible physique. Like I've seen people, or should I say, I've seen women that look good and take care of themselves, but your body just looks like next level. I'm like, this lady seriously trains. And yeah, yeah. I'm like, look at the
I do train
detail.
hard. I
Yeah.
do train hard. I appreciate that very much.
Like, yeah. So, I had to reach out. I'm like, I know you're probably really busy and you probably get a lot of DMs, but I would love to have you on my podcast to just talk about like, your regimen and everything that you do and like, a bit of stuff about you, little history about you. So I know that you're studying, is that right? Are you studying in the medical field or you're also working in the medical field? Like what's the situation there? Because it's very in contrast to being on the stage. Like tell me about that.
Well, in medicine, you quite frequently feel like you are on a stage. So that type of excitement and needing to think and perform on your feet is very similar, surprisingly. And there's a lot of physicians and even IFBB pros in the competing world. I've met a lot. Actually, every show I've gone to, I've met another physician, which has been so cool. But um, I'm actually done with almost done with residency, but I'm done with my medical studying. I graduated medical school in 2019, and then I've been working as a resident physician in general surgery.
What is a
Um,
resident physician? What does that mean? You go to people's houses?
I have a. It's kind of confusing. I wish it would be more straightforward, and it's different country to country. So I actually anyways, I lived in Queens for about 4 months and rotated at or not Queens in Romford and worked at Queens Hospital.
Did you say
And
Romford?
yeah,
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
But the only reason I mention that is because it's the medical training system is different in the UK versus the US. But yeah, so I finished a resident physician is you're practicing medicine. You have a license to the hospital. You're getting paid. You're a doctor, but to be board certified, you have to finish training through a accredited residency program. So
Right.
it's not like school, but it's still a training per se.
Mm, right. And how long was you studying for before you qualified as a physician?
I did 4 years of undergrad, 2 years of a master's and 4 years of medical school. So,
Wow.
10 years of post high school training.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. Amazing. And so before we get into the bodybuilding things, like you was always much of an athlete where you was interested in soccer and something else. Soccer
Track and
and
field.
what was it?
Track and field.
Track and field.
Yeah, I ran a
Yes.
track.
Awesome. So you was good at football then?
Yeah, I moved from Canada to Michigan because of that. I tried out for the Olympic pool in the US. I was playing on the provincial Canadian team and then was recruited. They asked me if I had dual citizenship, and I was like, yeah, like you're gonna have to move to the States. So I was trying to play soccer in the Olympics. I ended up playing soccer in college instead, and did a lot of travel soccer. It was really fun.
That's cool. And what about the track and field part of things? Like, what was your main thing on that?
My main race was the 800-meter dash, but I also ran the 1500 and the 400, but I crushed it in the 800.
Oh, right. Okay.
That was my race. That I'll still go run that right now.
All right. And what do you remember what your weight was at that time when you was doing 800? Your body weight?
Yeah, I was probably like around 105, 106.
Oh, right.
It's hard to remember, but my body weight has fluctuated probably from like 95 pounds to 135 pounds in my adult life.
Mm.
But, yeah.
Right.
I'm only 5'1" though, so.
5'1". Oh, really?
Yeah, no one knows.
Okay.
Everyone thinks I'm a giant, but
yeah,
that's my personality, not my height.
Them shots that you take on Instagram, them low shots. Okay.
Oh yeah, I know how to what angles to use.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at your physique, I would have assumed that you was possibly doing 100 or 200 meters, to be honest with you. I didn't know that it was like 109 or something, or 95 pounds or something.
That was like a very brief period of time. My body wants to be muscular.
Right.
Yeah.
I was very slim at school. I mean, I had a bit of muscle. I used to train when I was at school, but I was more on the slimmer side, I would say. And I wasn't too bad. I wasn't too bad on the 800 and 1500, but my thing was mainly 100 and 200. So I actually done that at school. And I didn't go on to professional, but I did compete for a period in 100 and 200 meters in London. I wanted to continue, but it just never happened. It was emotional. But hey, it's one of those things. And it's one of those things where when you love fitness, it's so easy to just move on to something else, which is physically challenging. It's like, okay, I need something else. And
yeah, that's what happened with me.
yeah, I find some people, they might be doing a sport and then they might have an injury as well, and then they go on to bodybuilding. Have you seen that with some people?
I've seen that many times, yes.
Yeah.
But then they have to kind of work around the injury.
Yeah, I think it might even start off as, okay, I need to do something and I need to do some rehab. And while they're doing rehab and exercising, they're like, oh, this is all right.
Yeah.
They start to develop something and then it turns into a passion. So you're living in the States.
Yes, I live in Jacksonville, Florida.
Jacksonville, right. And how did you get into competing?
I was living in the Caribbean for medical school and kind of stumbled into this gym that was a very island vibe. And I thought to myself that I wanted to look like the women that were going there. They just were like happy and they had great lower bodies, great butts. And I was like, what are you guys doing? And like, we just eat and lift. And I'm like, that sounds great. I'm going to do the same thing. So like 3 years later, after I was just bodybuilding, I didn't even have Instagram or anything like that. When I moved back to the States, people at every gym I would go to would ask me, like, oh, do you compete? How far out are you? All these questions that now I understand what they all mean. But I was just like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, compete in what? So I looked into some bodybuilding competitions, and the first thing that I found was the WBFF. And I think I was drawn to that because in undergrad I was a fashion design major. So I saw the word fashion and fitness, and I was like, oh, this is perfect for me. So I competed with the WBFF, got my pro card my first show, and then competed with them like 4 more times. From 2018 to like 2019, I competed with them. And then, and I think it has its time and place for certain people. And I still have a lot of friends in the federation, but it didn't feel right for me after I saw that IFBB was going to have wellness. I was like, that's exactly how I want to train, what my body looks like naturally. And it's me. It's the IFBB. So I was like, see ya. Sorry.
Yeah, the transition had to happen. So what is wellness all about? I mean, I'm not too familiar with all the divisions in IFBB. So what different categories are there for women? I know they got
I'll go from the least muscular to the most.
Okay.
There's the bikini division, which is like a slender division. You need to have very thin legs, but muscular, obviously, full glutes with striations, and some like capped shoulders, some abs, but like a very tapered waist. It's like a very sleek look, very feminine. And then next is what's kind of confusing. You would assume wellness to be next, but wellness is all leave for last. So it goes bikini, figure, which is like, you know, you're more defined, you have separation, but you don't have cross striations. And then there's women's physique. Do you know Shanique? She won Miss Olympia twice, but not last year. I would just say that her physique is pretty much women's physique. You lost the definition, still a little, still feminine, but you're totally diced. Right. And you have a lot of muscle mass, full muscle bellies, I think is what the description says online. And then next is women's bodybuilding. And women's bodybuilding is, you're the most muscular and the most ripped.
Right.
And then they have fitness, which is like its own category. And those women perform like a gymnastics routine, which is incredible. Those always blow me away. And their physiques need to look kind of similar to like figure and women's physique. So they do those poses like that. And then obviously my favorite, last but not least, is wellness, where you're going to have the lower body size of as kind of like its own category, probably women's physique. I wouldn't even say figure, because your legs need to be full, every muscle in your legs. Glutes need to be full. They want you to have a really tapered waist with abs, and then kind of soft upper body. They want you to kind of have like a bikini upper body, maybe slightly bigger than bikini upper body.
Right. Wow.
Sorry, that was like a very winded explanation.
It's interesting. That's interesting. It's like, okay, a bit softer in the upper body, but like powerful legs. Is that right?
So as I've been training for this and trying to perfect the look, and now that I'm training for Olympia, I'm like studying it exactly to a T, but everything that I need to do for the next 4 months. But I think a lot of the women, for me, I've always trained alone and stacked my own weight, and my legs have gotten huge, but just by the way I train, like with my squats or my deadlifts, my upper body was growing. Like my deadlifts is crazy, but like your back has to get stronger. Mm-hmm. But they don't want that balanced look. So what I'm learning is, I think a lot of people that are training for wellness have people that are like caddying their weights. Because there's no way that they're lifting all that weight with their upper body and their arms are staying so small. It makes no sense to me. So, and like I'm just figuring out different, like the Gymshark. So I'm not putting like weight on my arms and back. You just put it around your waist. Mm-hmm. So it's like strictly just lower body.
That's wild.
Anyway, yeah.
It is almost weird. Like, we want you to have like an asymmetrical physique, like a, and you're gonna live like that.
Yeah. The
Okay.
For most women, well, not most, for some women, I think that even if they train to have symmetry, they're gonna have a bigger lower body. And those specific people are the ones that should do wellness. Because there's a lot of people that will, like, even people who came from a swimming background. I have a client who, like, she was a very competitive swimmer. So her upper body was bigger. She's trying to go into wellness and she's doing an amazing job, but it's going to take her much longer than someone who naturally just has more muscle mass in their lower body. So.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, like, yeah, just go to your strengths. I remember I went to WBFF, only done 2 shows. I was like, okay, that's it, I'm done. That's it. I remember when I done the first show and they were like, congrats, you're a pro. And I was like, but I've won 1 show. What do you mean I'm a pro?
No.
Yeah, you're a pro now. I was like, well, that was easy. And I felt a little bit disheartened. I thought I was going to really have to work for it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll be honest, I just wasn't feeling like everybody waving the flag for WBFF. Oh yeah, buying t-shirts. I left WBFF. And I was like, mate, I am not buying that. I am not buying that. And like, if you're going to compete, you had to pay for a banner to put on your Facebook and Instagram. What? I had to pay for a banner for me. Wait, I got to pay for a banner for me to advertise your show. Wait, what? Yeah, one of the reasons why I was like, okay, I'm out, bro. I am out.
And that's just one of, like, so many examples. But it, you live and you learn. It was funny. People will ask me, and I'm just like, these are the facts. These are the facts. You choose. I'm not gonna say any opinions. I'm just gonna say this is what it's like.
Yeah.
If you like that, then that's for you. But for me, I was like, no.
Yeah. I hear that. What was the last competition that you had done?
I competed not even a week ago at the Milwaukee Pro. Nope. And okay. Yeah, I think it was the inaugural show for the Milwaukee Pro. I had competed 3 times in the last 4 weeks at the Pittsburgh Pro, the New York Pro, and then the Milwaukee Pro. And most recently, I just earned my Olympia qualification. So I'm so excited.
Wow. Olympia. So what's your ultimate goal with competing? I'm guessing like wellness Olympia champion. Yeah.
That's it. That's the ultimate goal. To do things that are meaningful along the way. But I think that you have so much influence when you get to that top level. So I've always had big plans, but like having that type of exposure is just such a blessing. You can do so much with it. So I'm hoping that I can kind of do both things at the same time.
Amazing. So let's say you win, which is highly probable. What happens from there? Okay, wellness Olympia champion. What are you going to do with the medal, the trophy, whatever they give you, and the tons of cash? How much do you win? Like, if you get first place, what's the cash? How much?
I don't know the value.
You don't know
the value. Yeah.
So you're not spending the money already?
No, I'm very frugal. I'm a person where I don't really like to if I'm going to spend money, it's to try and make more money. Yeah. That's pretty much, or to eat, but I have so, but that's pretty much it. The trophies, I have all of my trophies in my home gym right now. So awesome. They're very nice decorations and they're motivating.
What would be the plan though? Like, okay, let's say you win, then what? What's the plan from there?
I'm hoping on starting if I win, then I probably will try and compete again the next year.
Oh, right.
And
okay.
If I don't win, I'll probably try and compete again the next year too. So that stays the same. But in terms of what I would do with the title. So I know after you win, a lot of times women or whoever the champions are go around the world, the country, and do seminars and things like that. And fortunately, next year I won't be in training anymore, so I would have the time to do that. I also I'm launching a wellness app soon, so I hope that I can incorporate everything that I've done, kind of leading up to my getting my pro card to competing at Olympia, and I'm gonna have it all documented in that. I've been working really hard at launching that, so probably will be either launching that soon or trying to launch it when I compete at Olympia. Might be better timing, but
yeah. With everything that you're doing, I could see that being a success. I mean, to be honest, I don't even think you need any titles, like your images alone. I remember I had a friend who he competed in WBFF. Don't know why people compete there, but anyway, I think he came 5th. His physique was incredible. His transformation was amazing.
Yeah.
And like when people looked at the transformation, like he was so diced. And there was a before and after photo, which I think went viral. And that's all people cared about. No one cared about his placing. Like, where'd you place? No. Don't care. I saw the transformation. I love it. Where do I pay money?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's true. That's very true. That's very true. So, I mean, I don't think that I'm gonna not try and launch my app based on a placing, but
yeah. So, to achieve a physique like yours, how often are you eating? Like, do you eat like within the first half an hour until 10 p.m. in the evening? Like, what's the deal? Like, you've got serious muscle going on. What's the frequency of eating, and how regimented are you with the food that you buy? Is it all organic? Or is it homegrown? And like certain things are shipped from certain areas? Like, what's the deal there?
No, I'm not really high maintenance like that. The thing I do that's, I think, a little bit different than most people is I live on brackish water, like where the ocean meets the freshwater river in Florida. And I have a kayak and catch a lot of fresh fish. So my diet does consist of freshly caught fish. So, you know, I think it doesn't have any of those preservatives, which is probably good. I mean, I don't know exactly what's in the water. It looks pretty clean, but so that's different. I do also garden and eat my own vegetables, so that could be a little different. But besides that, I just eat like the regular oatmeal, potatoes, rice, chicken, fish.
Okay, you mentioned chicken because you mentioned fish, and I was like, okay, you pescatarian? You eat chicken? Okay, cool. Yeah. Right. So do you eat beef as well?
I do on occasion. I don't try and have it every day though. I think it kind of I like to try and keep inflammation to a low. So I avoid like as much artificial sweeteners. I mean, that's controversial too. I've seen studies saying that it doesn't cause inflammation and some saying it does. So
yeah, I had who did I have on? I had man, I spoke to someone who, man, he's got so many different titles under his name. He goes by the ingredientologist. Like he's patented all these different ingredients for like sports nutrition brands, and like he formulates ingredients like proper scientist. And like he mentioned that pretty much anything sweet is going to cause some kind of inflammation at some point.
Yeah.
Man, that is so annoying.
It really is. I read a book actually when I was in, what is it called? It has something, the name has a diet. I probably have it saved on my phone actually. But the whole book just goes on talking about the metabolism of glucose, metabolism of fructose. It's just a wear and tear thing. The more your body goes through it, more free radicals are produced and the more harmful it's going to be to your body. And that's, you can't debate that. Mm-hmm. So after I read that, I really did almost cut out all like simple sugars and sweets from my diet. This was even before I started training. I just was under the impression that it was going to accelerate the aging process. So at like 22, I was like, oh, I'm just not going to have sugar. So that's kind of, I guess that's probably pretty extreme. I never really thought about that.
That is. Did you stop eating fruit as well? Or was you still eating a bit of fruit? If so, what
I still eat fruit. I like berries, or I'm not really scared of having a little bit of sucrose now and then, but like I don't just eat like Skittles and stuff.
Right. Okay. So you grow your own vegetables, you say? Is that right?
Yes.
What range of vegetables do you have?
Cauliflower, beans, like green beans, cucumbers. Cucumbers grow really well down here. Kale. My tomato plants keep dying. I'm not sure why. It's too hot this year. What else is down there? I've grown, there's beets and cilantro and Brussels sprouts, which are so cool. Have you ever seen Brussels sprouts grow?
Have I seen them grow? I don't think so.
They're
No.
such a funny little plant. Like I had no idea how they grew until I planted them like a couple years ago, and it looks like something from outer space. It's so cool. I had no idea.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and peppers, lots of peppers. I love peppers.
Nice. Well, like bell peppers or sweet peppers?
Bell peppers, ghost peppers, habanero peppers, and jalapeno, habanero, and ghost peppers are what I'm growing right now. Oh, and cayenne peppers.
All right.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on lectins and oxalates? What's your thoughts on those? Do you try to avoid certain foods, or do you
not really
a certain way?
Yeah, I don't have the only things that I avoid. Yeah, I don't avoid anything with lectins or oxalates, but I do avoid dairy.
Okay. Any reason?
I'm allergic to milk, so I've just never have had it. And you know, there's dairy alternatives, like a million of them now, but it seems like they're all so heavily processed, so I just stay away from them. Like, I mean, how much time would it really take to turn an almond into a piece of cheese?
I'm sorry, an almond.
Yeah, because like they'll have like almond cheese, like it's cheese made out of almonds. And I'm just like, I'd rather just eat some almonds. Like
I've never heard of that. Almond cheese, to be honest.
Or soy, cheese made out of soy, that kind of stuff.
Okay. So you're saying that you would not have organic milk either?
Well, I can't drink milk, so.
Okay, right. Okay, cool. Sweet. So you don't avoid any oxalates or lectins. You just like eat it all. Like beans, you'll just like legumes, you'll just eat them. No issues. No thought process that this is potentially damaging to my gut lining. Like, nope, it's all good. Yeah.
I've seen so many people on Instagram going through the laundry list of things that they avoid. And the things are, you'll see nut butters because nuts cause inflammation. I think that allergens can be inflammatory if your body is reactive to them, but every time I've seen a new thing that has been on there that have people claim to be detrimental to your health, I try and find some scientific, papers or anything, and I haven't found anything that has been overwhelmingly suggestive one way or the other. So I just am like, I'm not going to stress myself out about eating some, something.
Yeah, that's cool. That's interesting. I mean, have you done any tests yourself to, I don't know, like to see whether your body is intolerant to certain things, or whether you should avoid certain things or incorporate, I don't know, certain pre or probiotics that work for you because of a certain microbe in your body or anything like that? Have you had a microbiome test or genetic test or
No, but
intolerance?
now I'm interested.
Oh man, there's many out there. Yeah, I've done all sorts of tests. Like, you know, there's still
Did it
more
make a
to do.
difference?
Huh?
After you did the test and did you modify your diet afterwards?
Yes,
Did it
immediately.
make a difference for you?
Well, yeah. I mean, you're supposed to do another test probably about 3 months afterwards, because with those changes, it's like your gut bacteria is going to be functioning different. Your body will be able to produce certain things. And then from there, you can figure out, you know, whether you need a different sort of supplementation or other types of foods. But I just wanted to know what foods are causing the issues. And it was quite interesting, you know, because, you know, you'd mentioned you'd eat the whole shebang. Whereas for me, I know certain legumes I can't eat. I'll still eat it on the occasion. I'm like, yeah, I know that this is kryptonite for me, but it tastes good. I'm going to eat it. I'm going to take a hit. I'm going to take a hit. But I know I can't eat this on a regular basis. But it's good to see it on paper. Like, okay, you have an intolerance against this because of certain bacteria in your body can't work with it. And, you know, it's all scientific and stuff, but broken down nice and easily for you to, just sort of like moderate your diet in accordance to what your body is happy with, you know, so that you can.
That's so cool. I definitely want to do that.
Yeah, I can give you, I can send you a company details and you can just have a look. They do like loads of different tests. It's amazing. Not just microbiome. I think they do like even a genetics test as well. And some other ones. I can't remember. I think, there's some other ones. But you've also got age tests out there, you know, chronological, like chronological to biological or biological to chronological to see where you're at, you know, whether you are aging okay
Yeah.
or
That's
you've
cool.
got some stuff to sort out, you know.
Right.
But that's cool to know, you know. I'm just wondering if you've done anything like that. You just trained, ate good, and just left it as that, yeah?
Yeah, I am very new to the extremes that people are going to optimize their muscle growth or overall health or whatever, the recovery. I, I mean, not too long ago did I start using creatine. So I've definitely researched a lot, but I just have never been, I've never have really tried to, well, I've never really plateaued too hard is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like, I think that, but it's because I've always been, I love using this like food app. It's called My Net Diary, getting my macros and then playing around with the numbers just so, and like, I know that it's not even like 100% accurate, but for me, it's just like having my meals in order is like a nice little, like one little tiny thing in the world that I can control. So it's like, for me, it's like I've always been really meticulous with my diet. Not necessarily so much the same exact foods, but portion sizes. Yeah. So that's been something that I've prioritized for sure.
Okay. All right. How old are you?
I'm 30.
30. Okay. Cool. Still a baby.
Biologically, I'm 15.
Yeah, probably about that. Yeah.
No, I have no idea.
Well, give or take. Yeah. Definitely. You know, I want to contact a company to hit you up about doing a biological age test.
That'd be awesome. I'd love that. I'd be so interested to see.
That would be really cool. And I think your followers would be interested to know that as well.
I bet. That's one of all the questions I get all the time is, how old are you? How old are you? How old are you?
Yeah.
Like
you can,
everyone's different.
Oh, you can tell him 12. If it comes back as 12, I'm actually 12. No, you're not lying.
I'll be posting here for quite some time, guys.
What was I going to say? So, how was life at school? When you was training, was you training at school as well? Yeah. And
Yeah,
what was it like? What was it like, you know, being a bit of a fitness fanatic? Were there others around you who was quite the same, or was it a bit of a lonesome journey whilst you was at school?
I was really lucky. I had some friends that liked to lift as well. So we would go to class in the morning, and then during lunch, we would eat on the walk over to the gym, which wasn't too far. We trained for an hour and then come back to finish the afternoon pretty sweaty, but it was fun. There wasn't very many people in med school like that, but there was a few of us, and it was always there was a good handful of people that really liked to train.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What would you suggest for women that want to look like you? I mean, yeah, they want to put on some serious muscle. Now, not just muscle, but for the most part, it's very difficult to lose body fat, and especially for women. So what would you say to those type of women who's really trying to achieve low body fat like you?
Yeah, well, the first part of your question, to put on muscle mass and then to get lean, I think those are two different time periods. And a lot of people want to have both at the same time. And I mean, who doesn't? That's always like...
I want to put on a lot of muscle and I want to lose all the fat at the same time. What one pill is going to make it work, please?
Yeah, so I think it's good like to try and have your body composition have a higher muscle density while you're still losing body fat. You can kind of dance around maintenance calories. But in my mind, like focusing on the scale is kind of, I mean, sometimes it can be helpful just to know that you're going in some sort of direction, but I think people get fixated on that and they let it kind of deter their progress with muscle growth, thinking that they're gaining weight. But to answer your question, to try and lose body fat and gain muscle size, you just have to train super hard
right.
and eat well. Like I'll see people trying to put on muscle, but the way that they're training, I'm like, you're not breaking anything down.
Yeah.
Your body's not gonna look any different.
I hear that. I get people message me all the time. Oh, I've been training for years, but I'm not getting no progress. I'm like, yeah, you're obviously not training properly, or your diet is shit.
Yeah, the diet is, I mean, I didn't even say that. That's I think probably the most, I mean, diet is so important. So.
And I think a lot of people are so fixated with flavor that they forget about nutrition. They're like, yeah, but I tried the taste of that and it wasn't working for me. I was like, you're not eating it for the taste.
Yeah.
If it tastes great, hey, that's amazing. That is so good. But you're not eating it for the taste. You're eating it for the information it's providing your body, you know.
And I feel like in the last, can't even imagine how long, I haven't really ate anything that I don't like. Like even all my prep food, like I'm just so, when it's the next time to eat, I just need that little bit of fuel that it tastes so great. Like even after a show, like I'll go out to eat. I went to a Brazilian steakhouse this most recently and had all of this very flavorful food, and it just didn't even taste any better to me because I wasn't really hungry anymore, and I was just like, I don't really feel like eating. I don't know if that's like happens to a lot of people after prep, but I feel like you down regulate some of the taste buds that you don't use when you eat prep food. So when you eat it, it doesn't have the same type of like chemical reaction in your brain.
Yeah. I think if you keep away from like super high palatable foods, then it's like it gets recalibrated. So you eat this just beautiful, natural, single ingredient foods and you enjoy it. It's like, these vegetables taste delicious. Like you taste it, you know? Whereas some people, they're like, oh, I don't know, I need something else. This is boring. Like, no, this tastes great. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But it's because they're used to like all these sauces and stuff adding on top of it, and you know, probably snacking on crisps in between. I remember getting a book. What is the book called? There's a book called The Dorito Effect. Check that out. Oh my God, it's insane. It talks about how foods have been just manipulated flavor-wise to encourage people to eat more, basically, and just how flavors have been created in laboratories. Not all, but many have been, to the point where you can get a vanilla extract which has no vanilla in there.
Oh,
it tastes like vanilla.
I believe it. Yeah, I believe it. That's gross though.
Yeah, it's insane. So we are at you know, in this day and age where you can get flavors that imitate, but then they've got nothing to do with the actual ingredient. So
I mean, how many things in life is they've done that with so many things.
True, right? Yeah. It's wild. It's wild. Yeah. I remember seeing on your post something about a stalker. I was like, wait, is somebody stalking you? Like, I saw you, it was an interview that someone, I don't even know the full thing. I just saw it a bit and I was like, okay, I need to note this down and I need to ask you, what's the deal? Is someone stalking you, or is it all over now? Have they been caught? Like, what's with the stalker thing? What's going on?
Yeah, so no, unfortunately, the person has not been caught and they haven't been stopped either. So that's been frustrating, but about a year ago, I started working at this hospital, and the person started sending emails to my boss and my colleagues impersonating me, saying really just, it started off with just saying rude comments. And it was a very believable, it wasn't like a ridiculous email address that like Queen Sunny, like it wasn't stupid. It was like my last name, my first name @Gmail. So started saying just really rude comments. People would be kind of put off. Some people didn't even say anything to me, and people would just were like kind of really rude to me at work. Other people were saying, some people asked me about it. I'm like, no, absolutely, that's not me. But then just even having that associated with my name, people were kind of standoffish. It progressed to start getting worse. My like tires got slashed. I got notes on my front doorstep telling me to watch my back. Then I got like a million roses one day. Every single day I was like receiving stuff on my front porch, getting like messages underneath my car windows. I started going to different gyms and they still were leaving me messages. Then the person started sending like porn links from me saying to my bosses and saying like, open this is like, watch this video of me. I mean, just ridiculous stuff they were just getting off the internet. But I have some of the program directors were like much older women in their like 70s, you know, opening this thinking that there's no way that someone can make an email address with your name. That has to be her. And this video that I'm going to click the link, like no one's told her you can get a virus or anything, has to be her. So it's been extremely frustrating and humiliating because it's tarnished my reputation. I mean, I worked so hard to become a physician. To have someone who's just sitting at home trying to, I mean, the physical stuff has been terrifying. Like knowing that someone's always, like I'm like literally like that Michael Jackson song, like thinking someone's always watching me. But that part's scary, but the digital part where this person keeps just trying to steal my identity, like every single, like they've hacked my iCloud, my email addresses, every single type of social media. I have like 2-step verification on and they'll still figure out how to, it's really it's so creepy. I have no idea how this person is doing what they're doing, and contacted the police, and the police unfortunately, I mean, as helpful as they were, they came over and they always get a report, but there really isn't much for them to do besides try and sit in front of my house or to try and wait till something happens to me. So, and I understand it from their point of view, because it's like, if there's not a suspect, what are they going to do? You know, they have time for emergencies now, not like what may happen or whatever. So, in my interview, I think that I mentioned that I contacted the police and the FBI and everything. And it wasn't by any means me being like, well, screw them, they didn't help me. It's that they just haven't been able to. The FBI, though, I've told them many times. The police told me to go to the FBI, give them the report, and they were supposed to investigate it. And they said that they may or may not get back to me. And every single time they tell me that, and then I don't hear back. So I hired a couple PI firms, and the first people took thousands of dollars and totally scammed me.
Oh, wow.
So awful.
Wow.
And yeah. They kept saying, oh, we found who it is, we'll send you the report. And then they didn't follow up or anything like that. And then recently I hired another PI firm who told me that they think that they found who it was exactly a week ago from today. So it was like 1 week ago, and they have not provided me any report or anything. So, you know, I'm just like, I don't know what they're waiting for. It's not like I'm having a great time. But so that's kind of like the summarized version of some of the weird things going on with that.
Yeah. Do you have any thought who it might be? I mean, you don't need to give any names or anything.
Yeah. So I think that for my kind of detective skills, and from an idea of what this PI has told me briefly, I believe that it's a person, just a random person off of Instagram, who is in Italy. And even if I told you his name, it would make no difference, because his identity online is like non-existent, because I've tried to look into him. But he did start like last fall, he sent me, and I don't know how he got my home address. I don't know how he got my phone number, but the person started sending me a bunch of like a bunch of clothes and a bunch of shoes and stuff like that. And would send me messages on WhatsApp. So that was kind of like the only person that I thought maybe could be it, because I had no enemies or anything like that. But the person became very obsessed, but then I stopped hearing from them completely. Yeah. So like, that's why I didn't even think it was that person, because I thought they were harmless. But then one of the email addresses that they made before they changed it to my name, I knew the person was going to slip up. I saw his name like before he changed it. So I was like, oh, it had to have been him. But anyways.
That is wild. That is wild. Wild. Yeah. Wild. I don't even know what to say. I mean, I think we've all had a fair share of stalkers, but I think that's next level. That is next level. I really do hope this gets sorted out.
Yeah. They keep messing. He keeps messing with my parents. My parents are like such sweet people. They don't deserve that. My sister too. Like, it's just like, I don't know what the person wants to accomplish. Like, my parents and sister have nothing to do with, I mean, they're very close to me in my life, but I don't know why he would try and torment them. Like, what are they going to do? My parents live in Michigan. I live in Florida too. So it's like crazy that he found them.
Gosh. Yeah. I wish you all the best on that one.
Thanks.
Huh, damn.
I have hope. I have hope that I'm going to have closure.
Huh?
I have hope that I'll have closure soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
The person's too aggressive and too obsessed to not slip up. Like, he already made one. It's like every single day. You can't do something perfectly 365 days a year. Don't make a mistake.
Yeah. Maybe you can lure him in, make him feel like he's you've fallen in love with him, you know, and he's like, okay, I'll reveal myself.
It would be really hard to believe at this point, but yeah.
Yeah. I hear you. So just as a close, I wanted to know, where do you see yourself in in the future with competing and your medical field? Where would you like to take that?
So my ultimate goal is to have a new field of medicine, which is like exercise medicine, and it focuses on preventative medicine and a whole lifestyle that incorporates exercise and nutrition and kind of actually has science behind which supplements to take that are going to be optimal for your body. A lot of There's a lot of preventative medicine now, but it's like the lowest of the totem pole of all medicine because you're not treating sick people. But with the competing world, everyone is very focused on their health and longevity. So I think that this is going to be something that could kind of go together really well. So I would like to try and share with everyone my wellness approach for like how I compete, which is really my lifestyle all year long. And I think if people know that competing doesn't have to be so hard on your body, it could actually be really good for you.
Oh, that's a really interesting perspective on that, actually. Really, because I think for me, like when I was competing, that was one of the reasons why I was like, do you know what? I'm out, because I just wasn't really liking the diet. I found it a bit aggressive. And when I had a coach and they were like, yeah, you need to do all this sodium manipulation and stuff. And when I was looking into it, I'm like, this doesn't sound healthy. Like, the reason why I got into fitness is for health, and this doesn't sound healthy.
Absolutely.
And you know, I probably wasn't even as aggressive as many other people. I think because I think genetics played a good part for me. I didn't have to be as aggressive as some people. But you know, when I had people coming to me to coach them, and they're like, yeah, I want to compete. I'm like, do you know what? I don't want to coach people to compete. Like, I will coach people to make a healthy lifestyle, but competing, I don't agree with it. Like, I love seeing how people look on the stage, but with the diet, I'm not coaching anyone to achieve that sort of body composition. That's just like for me personally.
Yeah. And I think that and it's hard for me to speak to any other category, any male category competing wise, and any other female category, because I know that you have to compromise your health to sometimes get that lean. But I'm speaking like specifically about like the wellness category.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So it's not I don't think you have to. I think you can actually look much better not having to do a whole bunch of crazy peak week things that are super dangerous. So, and I've seen people, oh my gosh, just totally tear their health apart to try and compete. And I'm like, it's unnecessary. You just have to, there's a science behind it and you have to be meticulous, but it doesn't need to involve a bunch of drugs and sodium diuretics and whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you can do it in a much safer way. So that's kind of what I'm trying to hopefully can convey to the public.
That'll be great. And talking of that, I remember, do it quickly before I want to ask you about your information and social media and all that sort of stuff. But I remember watching a video on Flex Wheeler, you know, Flex Wheeler?
Yeah.
And it was one where he was in a hospital bed and it turned out they had to amputate his leg. This is a little while ago now. And I couldn't help but wonder, was it something to do with him getting back on the drugs? You know, because he competed again, didn't he? Now, I have no idea. But, you know, these questions are going to speculate, like, why did it happen? Was his diet off? You know, I mean, I had an auntie who was diabetic and she had to get a leg amputated because she was diabetic, but she thought, fuck it, I'm still going to eat shit. And then she lost her leg and then she died.
Right. Yeah.
Then she died. So I do question, you know, when people have these premature deaths or lose a limb, Is it down to the drugs? Now, one thing I wanted to ask about you is you got a phenomenal physique, and for a woman, it almost looks, how the hell, like it looks like so unobtainable. And I know many people will probably question, is she natural? So I want to ask you, have you used performance enhancers, or are you using it at the moment? Like,
No.
what's your thoughts? Okay.
So yeah, I've never used any performing enhancing drugs, and still currently not doing that. I was really actually fortunate to start playing sports at such a young age, like we talked about. So I had a long time to build muscle, and genetically speaking, it's not just like my brother and sister who are both also very muscular, but both of my parents are very muscular people, like naturally, and all of my female cousins on my mom's side, we have almost I was just home last weekend or 2 weekends ago. We have a very, very, very similar build. So genetics was definitely in my favor for putting on muscular size. But I mean, it's a combination between my love for being active and being an athlete. Because I'm sure, like anyone, if I were just to go sit on the couch, I wouldn't have muscles, So
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
but,
again, looking phenomenal.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So I don't have experience with that.
Cool, cool. So, Sunny, it's been absolutely fantastic. Where can people find you on social media?
I have
Right.
Instagram, and it's Dr. Sunny Andrews, DR, and then Sunny Andrews. And then I also have a YouTube channel, which I started about a month or two ago, which has been a lot of fun. I love filming that. And my name on there is just Sunny Andrews. So those are my two places where you can see workouts and stuff like that.
Awesome, awesome. And your website, I'm sure you sell programs and coach people as well. Is that right?
I do. And that's On Season Fitness, and season is spelled SZN. So yeah, I have the On Season is the link in my Instagram too, and that brings you to my training page. So
yeah. Awesome.
Thank you
Once
so much.
again, Sunny, it's been absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much for your time. It has been great.
It has been. I really appreciate it. It's been an honor to be interviewed by you and get to talk to you a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully I don't know, meet you in the States at some point and we get a workout in.
That'd be great. That'd be awesome.
It'd be great. It'd be great. Thanks again. You take care.
Thanks, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.